Hi students, welcome to Diamond Group of Institutions NEET and KSET online classes. So today we are going to discuss about the alternating current. Okay, so in alternating current, LC circuits and RLC circuits. Okay, these are the important. Okay, na? So we may expect the question from that. So today class I will concentrate more on that LC and RLC circuits only. Okay, see now the first question is. A capacitor of capacitance 10 microfarads. Capacitor का capacitance given 10 microfarads. I am writing here 10 microfarads. Connected to an AC source and an AC ammeter. The source voltage varies V equal to the 50 root 2 sine 100 t. Okay, I am writing that voltage also. Voltage source varying with respect to the time. Alternating voltage V equal to 50 root 2 sine 100 t. The reading of the ammeter is one thing. Remember, the ammeter reading is nothing but the IRMS, voltmeter reading is nothing but the VRMS. Remember, if they ask ammeter reading, we have to find the IRMS. If they ask amplitude of the current, means we have to find the I0. Okay, remember that one. Okay, so here they given the capacitance and varying voltage V equal to 50 root 2 sine 100 t. So actually the V is nothing but here V equal to the V0 sine omega t. This is the general formula. V equal to V0 sine omega t. Current also I equal to the I0 sine omega t. So V0 is the peak voltage or maximum voltage. Omega is the frequency. T is the time. So this is the time varying voltage. V equal to V0 sine omega t. V0 is the maximum. Remember that one. Okay, so they given this one. They are asking the reading of the ammeter. Reading of the ammeter is nothing but the IRMS. The formula for the IRMS equal to VRMS by XC. That means VRMS by, actually we know I equal to V by R. R is the resistance. Okay, here also this is nothing but the resistance only. The resistance offered by the capacitor. That is nothing but the capacitive reactance. Okay. So now IRMS equal to VRMS by XC. So we have to find the VRMS and XC, then substitute, we will get the IRMS. Now first from this equation, we are going to find the XC value, capacitive reactance. XC ka formula also you have to remember 1 by omega C. XC equal to 1 by omega C. So equal to 1 by omega value. This is V0 sine omega t. So omega place mein what is there? 100. So omega is 100. C value. C they given 10 microfarads. 10 micro means 10 into, micro means 10 power minus 6. 10 into 10 power minus 6. Here 100 into 10 is nothing but 1000. 1000 means 10 power 3 into 10 power minus 6. We will get the 10 power minus 3 sent to the numerator. It will become 10 power plus 3. So capacitive reactance is 10 power 3 ohm. Unit is same. Resistance or capacitive reactance or inductive reactance unit is same, ohm only. So XC completed. VRMS we have to find. So now from this equation 50 root 2 sine 100 t they given. So here 50 root 2 is indicating the V0. V0 is nothing but the maximum voltage. So we have to find the VRMS. We know the VRMS formula. VRMS formula is V0 by root 2. Okay, VRMS equal to V0 by root 2. V0 value is 50 root 2. So 50 root 2 by root 2. Root 2 cancel, 50 volt we will get. VRMS value is 50 volt and capacitive reactance value is a 10 power 3 ohm, 1000 ohms. Okay, so then substitute in the formula. IRMS equal to VRMS by XC. So VRMS value is 50 volt, XC value is the 1000 ohm or 10 power 3 ohm. Then simplify this one, we will get 1 by 20. 1 by 20 value is 0.05 amperes. But in the option they given in terms of the milliamperes, convert this into the milliamperes, 50 milliamperes. So answer option A is the right answer. Now come to see the second question. A pure inductance coil. So first question based on the capacitor and the next question is based on the inductance. So pure inductance coil of 30 millihenry. Okay, unit of the inductance is Henry. So L equal to 30 millihenry. Nothing but the 30 into milli means to 10 power minus 3 Henry. This is the given and is connected to an AC source of 20 volt. If they given AC source, that is nothing but the VRMS. Okay, if they given AC source of some voltage, that is the VRMS. That is 220 volt they given. So VRMS value is 220 volt. and the frequency they given 50 Hz, frequency is 50 Hz. The RMS current in the coil is, RMS current we have to find, IRMS equal to the VRMS by resistance, that is resistance offered by resistor, resistance offered by capacitor, resistance offered by the inductor, whatever it is, but IRMS equal to VRMS by resistance. So here the circuit has the only inductor, pure inductor. So now IRMS equal to VRMS by resistance offered by the inductor, that is inductor reactance, okay, reactance of the inductor. Next VRMS value, we know already VRMS value is the 220 volt, the given XL value we have to find, okay. Inductive reactance, okay, inductive reactance XL equal to omega L. Remember inductive reactance formula is XL equal to the omega L. Capacitive reactance formula XC equal to 1 by omega C. Remember these formulas, don't get confusion. Now XL equal to omega L. Omega means angular frequency. Now write down in omega equal to, we know already 2 pi f. L is nothing but L only. So 2 into pi value 3.14. Frequency they given already 50 Hz. So 50 Hz. L value they given 30 millihenry. So 30 into 10 power minus 3 millihenry. Simplify it, we will get 9.42 ohm. Already I said capacitive reactance or inductive reactance ka unit is ohm only. So XL we got. So they are asking the RMS current in the coil. IRMS equal to VRMS by XL. VRMS value already direct given 220 volt, 220. XL value we found 9.42. So 9.42. So we will get the IRMS value is 23.4 amperes. If they ask amplitude of the current I naught, we have to find. So I naught to find I naught, the formula you have to remember, IRMS equal to the I naught by root 2. From this I naught equal to IRMS into root 2. Okay, like this we have to solve. Okay, if they ask amplitude of the current. Next see the third question. For the circuit shown in figure, the ammeter A2 reads 1.6 amperes. So A2 reads 1.6 ampere, this A2 reads 1.6 ampere, this ammeter connected series to the inductor, okay, and ammeter A3 reads 0.4 amperes, okay. A3 is connected series to the capacitor and this is reading the current is 0.4 amperes. Then they given the options. Omega naught equal 1 by root LC, so that is not F2. Frequency F equal 1 by 2 pi root LC, that is also not. These two options are wrong, we will get easily. Next C and D options we have to check it. A1 they given, ammeter reading of A1. A1 is the net current, total current flowing through the circuit. A2 is the current flowing through the inductor. A3 is the current flowing through the capacitor. A1 is the net current in the circuit, okay, total current in the circuit we have to find. So one thing you have to remember. So I am taking the graph here. So I am taking the voltage on the x-axis. Voltage on the x-axis. So now, what is the phase difference between the voltage and current in the inductive circuits and the capacitive circuits? You have to remember. So in the inductive circuits, voltage leads the current by pi by 2. So voltage leads the current by pi by 2. Otherwise, current lags the voltage by pi by 2. Okay, na? In inductive circuits, voltage leads the current by pi by 2 or current lags the voltage by pi by 2. Remember that one. And next capacitive circuits. In capacitive circuits, here see this one. Okay, so current leads the voltage by pi by 2. Above it na, so leading. Below means lagging. So in the capacitive, current leading the voltage by pi by 2 or voltage lagging the current by pi by 2. Okay, if it is above, leading, if it is below, lagging. So in the inductive, current is lagging by pi by 2. Okay, in the capacitive, current is leading by pi by 2. Okay, now see here, IL is in the negative y axis and inductive IC is in the positive y axis. The net current equal to the, okay, the net current equal to the, so subtract IL minus IC, which is more, that side I am taking, IL minus IC. IL value is 1.6, IC value is 0.4, the net current equal to the 1.2 amperes. Okay, na? The net current is nothing but the reading of the ammeter A1. Okay, so A1 ka reading is how much? The current flowing through A1 I1 I am assuming. So I1 equal to the 1.2 amperes. That means the current flowing through this circuit is equal to the 1.2 amperes. So the reading of the A1 ammeter is the 1.2 amperes. Remember that one. Okay. Next question, fourth question. An alternating voltage given alternating voltage 220 sine 100 pi t. So I am writing here 220 sine 100 pi t volt is applied to a supply resistive load. Okay, only resistance is there. 50 ohm resistance value also the given 50 ohm. So resistance value given 50 ohm. The time taken for the current to rise from half of the peak value. Peak value is I naught. Okay, half of the peak value means I naught by 2 to the peak value. I naught by 2 to the I naught. Okay, so what is the how much time it is taking current to rise from half of the peak value to the peak value we have to find. Suppose if we draw the diagram like this, sinusoidal wave. So now here this is the peak value I naught. Okay, I naught. So suppose somewhere here we have the I naught by 2. So from here to here how much time it is taking, that we have to find. Okay, to raise the current from half of the peak value to the peak value, how much time it is taking. Okay, R value they given. No use of this one, no need to use this one, we don't have any use. First we have to find the current. Okay, in resistive circuit, remember the phase difference between the voltage and the current is 0, otherwise voltage and current both are in the same phase. Okay, so now I equal to, we can write this Vt is nothing but the V naught sine omega t. Okay, I also I naught sine omega t. I naught sine omega t. Omega t means 100 pi t. Sine I naught sine 100 pi t. So actually we can find the I naught value also. I naught equal to V naught by R. V naught value is 220, R value is 50. 220 by 50 we will get the I naught value. But here no use, no need to use that one, we can find it very easily. So see now first case, the current rises from the half of the peak value to the peak value. First case I am assuming that current reaches to the half of the peak value. That means from starting to the here, starting to the to reach the half of the peak value, how much time it is taking. So consider the I equal to the I naught by 2. Okay, now current reaches to the initial to the I naught by 2, then how much time it is taking. So in this equation I equal to I naught sine 100 pi t. Now equate to the I naught by 2. Now here I is equal to the half of the peak value. So I naught by 2 equal to I naught sine 100 pi t1. That means whenever the current rises from initial to the I naught by 2, it is taking the t1 time. So this t1 we have to find. Now this side I naught, this side I naught will be cancelled. We will get the 1 by 2 equal to sine 100 pi t1. In sine we will get the 1 by 2 at 30 degrees. 30 means pi by 6. Now pi by 6 equal to 100 pi t1. So now pi will be cancelled, 100 sine that side, 1 by 600 it will become t1 equal to the 1 by 600 seconds. So after 1 by 600 seconds, the current reached to the initial to the half of the peak value. And the next case may reach to the peak value, how much time it will take. From initial to the peak value, how much time it will take. Okay, now we are finding the current from the initial we are finding. Okay, first case may initial to the half of the peak value. Second case may initial to the peak value, how much current, how much time it is taking. Now equate the current equal to the I naught. So write down the I equation, I naught sine omega sine 100 pi t. So I equal to I naught and I naught into sine 100 pi t, and I naught will be cancelled. In sine when will we get the 1 pi by 2, 90 degrees. So now equate the angles, 100 pi t2 equal to the pi t2. That means from initial to the to reach the peak value it is taking the time t2 time. So now t2 equal to, we will get pi cancel, 100 send this side, 1 by 100 seconds. So from initial to the peak it is taking the 1 by 200 seconds. From initial to the half of the peak value it is taking the 1 by 600 seconds. But they are asking half of the peak value to the peak value. That means from here to the here how much it is taking. So initial to the peak t2, initial to the half value t1, then t2 minus t1 if we do, we will get this value. Okay, na? So now time taken from the half of the peak value to the peak value is nothing but t2 minus t1, 1 by 200 minus 1 by 600. Simplify, we will get the answer 3.3 milliseconds. Okay, the current rises from half of the peak value to the peak value, it will take the 3.3 milliseconds. Option A is the right answer. Now come to see the question number 5. When the capacitor of an oscillator circuit is replaced by a capacitor having a thrice as large as capacitance. That means first they are using the one capacitor, so value C you can assume C, then next replaced by that capacitor which has the capacitance 3 times to the initial capacitance. That means initially C1 equal to C, finally C2 equal to 3C. Okay, and oscillator frequency in the circuit, okay, oscillation frequency in the circuit decreases by 300 Hertz. Okay, here frequency is decreasing. So if capacitance increases, frequency decreases. So in oscillation circuit, the frequency formula we have this one, F equal to 1 by 2 pi root 2 LC, you know already this formula. If C increases, F decreases. Okay, now we know the relationship between the frequency and the capacitance. F is inversely proportional to the root C. If C increases, F decreases. C decreases, F increases. Here they said capacitor increases by the 3 times. So now frequency decreases by some amount. How much decreases? Decreases by the 300 Hertz. Suppose initially F is there, now finally F minus 300 decreases. Okay, then they are asking the initial oscillation frequency of the circuit is initially oscillation frequency we have to find. Okay, F frequency we have to find. So we already we know this formula. From this one I am writing the relationship between the frequency and capacitor. Okay, inductance, about inductor nothing they mention. So now the relation F2 by F1 equal to square root of C1 by C2. So F1 is the initial frequency, I am assuming F. F2 is the final frequency. So frequency decreased by the 300. So F minus 300. F2 is the F minus 300. C1 value initially I am assuming C1 equal to C. C2 is the capacitance become thrice as large as to the initial capacitance. So 3C. Now CC will be cancelled, we will get the 1 by root 3. So F minus 300 by F equal to 1 by root 3. Root 3 send this side, cross multiplication, root 3 F minus 300 into root 3, F send that side F. So now F send this side 300 root 3 send that side. So F common here, root 3 minus 1 equal to 300 root 3. Root 3 value already we know 1.732. Okay, 1.732 minus 1 0.732. So 0.732 F equal to the 300 into root 3. Okay, now F value we have to find 300 root 3 by 0.732. Simplify, we will get the answer approximately 712 Hertz, 712 Hertz. B is the right option. Okay, now see the question number 6. Now onwards we will get the LCR circuit based on the questions LCR circuit. In a series LCR circuit, PD means potential difference. The potential difference between the terminals of the inductance is 60 volt. Okay, I drawn here series LCR circuit. Okay, LCR series circuit I drawn here. So V potential we are supplying to this one. Potential difference across the inductor is VL. Potential difference across the capacitance is VC, and resistance is VR. Okay, the given between the terminals of the inductive is 60 volt. So the potential difference across the terminals of the inductor is 60 volt. Between the terminals of the capacitor is 30 volts. Okay, here 30 volts, and that of capacitor is 30 volt, and that between the terminals of the resistance is 40 volt. Here it is the 40 volt. The supply voltage will be, what is the supply voltage we have to find. Okay, so voltage difference between the inductor, capacitor, resistance they given, supply voltage we have to find. So here I am going to draw the phasor diagram. See, from the phasor diagram we will get it very easily. One thing you have to remember, already I said in the previous third problem or second problem somewhere. So here the phase difference between the current and the voltage are in the same phase for resistance. Okay, so phase difference is there between the voltage and current for inductive circuits and capacitive circuits. For resistive circuits there is no phase difference. So now here current, all these are connected in the series, so current flowing through all devices is, all components is same. So I current is flowing. I am taking the I current on the x-axis, positive x-axis. If current I is on the x-axis, the potential difference across the resistor VR also in the x-axis only. Why? Because the no phase difference between the voltage and current through the resistive circuit. So both are same direction. Next come to see the inductor. Okay, inductor already I said to you, the voltage leads the current by pi by 2 or current lag the voltage by pi by 2. Okay, na? So here the voltage difference across the inductor leading the current. This is the current, this is leading by the pi by 2. That means the inductor voltage is in this direction. And the capacitor, come to see the capacitor. Capacitor already I said to you. So the voltage difference across the capacitor lags the current by pi by 2 or current leads the voltage by pi by 2. Okay, here current voltage is lagging pi by 2 by the current. So in this direction, VC is in this direction. Okay, now VL is in the upward direction, VC is in the downward direction, and we are along the x-axis, positive x-axis. Now see, VL value is 60 and VC value 30. So which is more? VL is the more. So resultant is in the upward direction only. So that means VL minus VC is the upward direction only. What is that value? 60 minus 30. 30 only we will get. VL minus VC value is the 30 volt in the upward direction. And VR is in the positive x-axis direction, that value is 40 volt. We have to find the resultant of this one. So resultant is in this direction V. Okay, so now draw the perpendicular and this one. This is VL minus VC, means this is also VL minus VC, and this is the VR. So now from the right angle triangle, V square equal to the, that means hypotenuse square equal to the base square plus height square. So now V equal to the square root of VL minus VC whole square plus VR square. Already we know this one. VL value they given 60, VC value they given 30, VR value they given 40. Okay, now see, substitute here. 60 minus 30, 30, 30 whole square plus 40 whole square. 30 square means 900, 40 square means 1600, total is the 2500. We will get the net voltage or supply voltage is equal to the 50 volt. So the answer is the C, 50 volt. Okay, like this solve the problems. Next question, 7th question. In the circuit shown, the AC source gives a voltage. AC source they given V equal to the 20 cos 2000 T. Neglecting source resistance, the voltmeter and ammeter readings will be voltmeter and ammeter. So once see the circuit carefully, ammeter will give the total current through the circuit and voltmeter give the potential difference across these three elements only. That means we should not include this 6 ohm resistance. Whenever we are finding the reading of this voltmeter, we should not include this resistance value. We have to find the potential difference across these three elements only. But whenever we are finding the reading of the ammeter, we have to consider all the elements. Okay, remember that point. Okay, next, what are the data to find out the first I am going to find the reading of the ammeter. So the ammeter will give the IRMS. Okay, ammeter reading is nothing but IRMS. So IRMS, to find the IRMS we need the VRMS and resistance. Okay, this total, here we have the resistors, capacitors and inductor. Okay, that's why the resistance is nothing but the impedance. So now IRMS equal to the VRMS by Z. Z is nothing but the impedance. So first we have to find the VRMS. From the equation V equal to V naught cos 2000 T. From this whatever the data we need, that only I am taking. This V20 is nothing but the V naught maximum voltage, and omega value given 2000. So 2000 radian per second. Okay, this value is given. So now I need the VRMS value. So VRMS equal to V naught by root 2. V naught value we know 20 by root 2 volt we are getting. V naught completed. So VRMS completed. Next Z, impedance value we have to finish. Okay, impedance value is formula. So for RLC series circuit, we know already the impedance formula is Z equal to the XL minus XC whole square plus R square. This XL minus XC depending on their values. If XL is more, XL minus XC. XC is more, XC minus XL. Like this we have to take. Okay, and the next, so to find the impedance we need the XL, XC, R value. So XL value we know formula omega into L. Omega value is a 2000. L value they given. L value is a 5 millihenry. 5 millihenry means 5 into 10 power minus 3. 10 power minus 3 here 1000 is cancelled. 2 into 5 10 ohms. So XL equal to the 10 ohms. XC equal to the XC we have to find 1 by omega C. 1 by omega value is 2000, already we know. C value. C value is 50 microfarads. 50 into micro means 10 power minus 6. Substitute we will get the 10 ohm. That means here the capacitive reactance and inductive reactance both are same. XL equal to XC. Then we can say that the circuit is in the resonance. Okay, na? Remember that point also. If XL, XC both are same, then circuit is in the resonance. Then IRMS equal to VRMS Z. Z means impedance. Impedance is nothing but the here due to the only resistance only. When if the XC and the XL are same. If XC or XL are not same, then find this Z value. XL minus XC whole square plus R square. Okay, now IRMS equal to VRMS by R only. Now total circuit is a resistive circuit only. So VRMS by R value. VRMS value is how much? 20 by root 2. R value how much? So circuit ka total resistance 6 ohm plus 4 ohm, 10 ohms. So now 20 by root 2 into 10. VRMS is the 20 by root 2, R value is the 10. So 2 by root 2, root 2 value is 1.4 amperes. So the current flowing through this circuit is the 1.4 amperes. The reading of the ammeter is the 1.4 amperes. IRMS completed. Now find the reading of the voltmeter, not supply voltage. Okay, reading of the voltmeter. So reading of the voltmeter is all these components are connected in the series, so same current is flowing through this one. Voltage equal to current into resistance. Current is IRMS into resistance. Resistance of these three components only, don't include this 6 ohm resistance. Now Z dash. Okay, now here the circuit is in the resonance now, we have to take only resistance. XL minus XC is the 0 we will get. XL minus XC is this 0, XL XC both are same, so 0 we will get this one. So R2 square means square, this one will be cancelled, we will get the R2 only. That means here I consider this is the R2, this one is the R1. We are finding the reading of the voltmeter, so we have to consider these three components only. So now this resistance only we have to consider. XL minus XC will become 0. Why? Because both are same values. So now R2 value is how much? 4 ohm. Root 2 into 4. So root 2 value is 1.4. 4 into 1.4 is the 5.6 volt. The voltage reading is the 5.6 volt and ammeter reading is the 1.4 amperes. So option D is the right answer. Now see the next question. In the series LCR circuit as shown in the figure, they given the figure resistance value 4 ohm and reactance of the inductive reactance given 7 ohm and capacitive reactance given 4 ohm. Directly they decrease somewhat work to us. Okay, heat developed in 20 seconds. Time they given 20 seconds. 20 seconds mein how much heat developed we have to find. The amplitude of wattless current, and also they are asking the amplitude of the wattless current. Okay, two options. Okay, somewhat lengthy question. See now they given the E. Supply voltage E equal to 25 sin 100 pi t plus pi by 2. Okay, na? So what is the use? That next we will see. We have to find the heat developed from the I square RT in DC. Okay, but in the AC circuits we are discussing IRMS square. Okay, so IRMS square R into T. Okay, so now here I am taking Y resistance only, means the XL and XC, that means inductive circuits and capacitor circuits should not consume any power. Okay, na? So if it not consuming power means not producing the heat, that's why I am considering only resistance only. Resistance consume the power. Okay, in theory you will get that one. Okay, now IRMS square. R value already we know and T value we know, IRMS value we have to find. IRMS value is nothing but the I naught by root 2. Okay, I naught value also we don't know. How to find the I naught? I naught equal to the V naught by Z. Okay, V naught by Z. V naught value from the equation E equal to 25 sin 100 pi t plus pi by 2. Here 25 is nothing but V naught, maximum voltage. V naught is the maximum, 25 by Z. Z value already we know. Here three components are there, XL minus XC whole square plus R square, square root of XL minus XC whole square plus R square. Now substitute the values. 25 by XL is the 7, XC is the 4 and R value is the 4. Substitute and simplify, we will get the 5 amperes. What is that 5 amperes? Come to here I naught. I naught value we got the 5 amperes. We have to find the IRMS. IRMS equal to I naught by root 2. So 5 by root 2. So we got the IRMS value. So see now heat developed equal to IRMS square R into T. R value we know, T value they given and IRMS value also we found. Substitute here. So heat developed equal to the IRMS square 5 by root 2 square into R value 4 ohms given, 4 into time 20 seconds, how much developed? 20 seconds. Now simplify this one, we will get the 1000 joules. So 1000 joules heat developed in the circuit in 20 seconds. Remember that one. And the next question is nothing but the amplitude of the wattless current is. Amplitude of the wattless current we have to find here. So amplitude of the wattless current I am drawing here. Simply see now current I am taking on the x-axis. Suppose the voltage is making some angle with this one pi. Okay, now divide the I into the two components. So now this side we will get the I cos pi and this side we will get the I sin pi. Okay, so I cos pi is a component along the voltage and I sin pi is the component perpendicular to the voltage. So remember, if the phase difference between the voltage and the current is pi by 2, then it should not consume any power. Okay, and if the phase difference between the voltage and the current is 0, it will consume the power. Okay, so that's why in the resistors the current and the voltage are in the same phase, so power consumption is maximum. In the inductor circuits and capacitive circuits, so the phase difference between the voltage and current is 90 degrees, that's why no power consumption. Okay, so a current which should not consume any power, that current is called as the wattless current here. So this is this component of current I sin pi is perpendicular to this voltage, so this component of the current should not consume any power. So now amplitude of the wattless current is I sin pi, so the current flowing through this one is I naught, so I naught sin pi. Okay, wattless current the component, remember I naught sin pi, this component is perpendicular to the voltage. Okay, I naught sin pi, I naught value already we found, that is nothing but the 5 ampere. Sin pi, pi value we have to find. How to find the pi value? See now, graph, phasor diagram. So resistance in this direction, okay, and the next inductive circuits reactance in this direction, and the capacitive XC is in this direction. Already we discussed here. So current is going through a circuit is along the x-axis, then potential difference the resistance so same axis only. Why? Because phase difference is 0. Now voltage is leading the 90 degrees by the current in the inductive circuits, voltage is lagging the current by the 90 degrees in the capacitive circuits. So in this side we have the capacitive reactance, inductive reactance is XL, in this side we have the capacitive reactance is the XC. So then either they mention XL is the 7 ohm, XC is the 4 ohm, that means XL is more, so resultant is in this direction only XL minus XC. Okay, so here I am writing XL minus XC. Okay, so this side XL minus XC means this side also XL minus XC only. This is nothing but the resistance R. Okay, resistance R. So now this is the angle made by this one pi. Now from this we can find the tan pi. Tan pi equal to the opposite side by the adjacent side, XL minus XC by the R. Already we know this formula, just I am telling you. Tan pi equal to the XL minus XC by R. XL value they given, XC value they given, R value given. Substitute and we will get the 3 by 4. If tan pi equal to 3 by 4, sin pi equal to the how much? From right angle triangle we will get very easily. Suppose sometimes they may ask the angle, that angle is nothing but the tan pi by 4, tan pi is nothing but 3 by 4 means angle is 37 degrees. So now sin 37 is nothing but the 3 by 5. Otherwise if you know the tan pi 3 by 4, right angle triangle, and we can find the sin pi value also, that is 3 by 5. 5 cancel, we will get the 3 amperes. Okay, so heat developed is the 1000 joules and amplitude of wattless current is the 3 amperes. Okay, the answer is 3 amperes 1000 joules. A option is the right answer. Like this you have to solve the problems. See the next question. A transformer consists of 300 turns in the primary and 150 turns in the secondary. Okay, primary may 300 turns I written here, and the secondary may 150 turns we have. NP equal to 300, NS equal to the 150. Gives the output power of 2.2 kilovolt. So output power P out equal to the 2.2 kilovolt means 2.2 into 10 power 3, sorry watts, 2.2 kilowatts. Okay, 2.2 into 10 power 3 watts. Okay, power given. If the current in the secondary coil is 10 amperes, secondary coil mein current IS equal to the 10 amperes, then the input voltage means V primary, okay, V primary input voltage, and the current in the primary coil IP, VP IP equal to how much we have to find. So take the transformers ratio. So from that we have the formula, this one remember, NS by NP equal to VS by VP equal to IP by IS. That means here number of turns is directly proportional to voltage and inversely proportional to the current, remember. So NS value we know, NP value we know, VS value we don't know, VS value we don't know, we have to find that one. VP value we have to find, these two we don't know, first we have to find the VS value. How to find the VS value? So they given the one hint, output power they given, output power they given, output current also they given. Okay, output is nothing but the secondary. Okay, output power is P naught and output current is nothing but secondary current is nothing but the 10 amperes they given. Output voltage we have to find. So P naught equal to Vs into Is. P naught value they given 2.2 into 10 power 3 watts. 2 into 10 power 3 watts. Vs value we don't know. Is value is 10. So Vs equal to the 10 send that side. 10 will be cancelled. 2.2 into 10 power 2 we will get. 10 power 2 means 100. 2.2 into 100 is nothing but 220 volt. Vs value we got. Okay, output voltage we got. Now use this relationship. NS value we know 150 turns, NP value we know 300 turns, secondary voltage just now we found 220 volts, 220, primary voltage we have to find Vp, primary current we have to find Ip, secondary current they mentioned 10 amperes, so substitute 10 amperes. Now equate these two terms and equate these two terms, we will get the answer. First I am equating these two terms, 150 by 300 equal to 220 by Vp. So 150 ones to 150 twos. So 2 will come this side, Vp will go this side. Vp equal to 220 into 2. So 220 into 2, 440 volts. Okay, right. Now equate this last two terms. 150 by 300 equal to the Ip by 10. So 150 by 300 is 1 by 2. Okay, 10 this side, 10 by 2. So Ip equal to the 5 amperes. So primary voltage is 440 volt and primary current is 5 amperes. Primary voltage 445 amperes, B option is the right answer. So like this you have to solve the questions based on the transformer. Remember this relation. Okay, thank you.